I am not here to debate with anyone. I have devoted all of my adult life to this subject. I only debate with my equals. All others I teach.
Iran enough, or do you need ground forces?
Well, I'm not going to talk about ground forces. The last thing you want to do is ground forces.
Does Iran have 2 weeks, or could you strike before that? Are you essentially giving them a 2-week timeline?
I'm giving them a period of time. We're going to see what that period of time is, but I'm giving them a period of time, and I would say 2 weeks would be the maximum.
President, do you think the court cases should focus on criminals or all people who are here illegally?
Should start focusing on criminals, and that's what we've been focused on. Very bad criminals, dangerous criminals.
But Stephen Miller said to go out and arrest every person who's here illegally. He told ICE to arrest everyone who's here illegally.
Stephen and I have a very good understanding. He is a terrific person. We have a great understanding.
President, if there is an attack on U.S. assets, will you promise to conduct a full investigation and make it transparent with the American people before blaming Iran for such an attack?
Well, if there's an attack, we'll know almost immediately with modern equipment who made the attack. And those people will be very, very unhappy.
Prime Minister...
I want to get you people out of danger.
One more. Prime Minister Netanyahu said that they had the capacity to take out all of Iran's nuclear facilities. So what role would the U.S. be able to play, and why would they, if Israel says that they have all of the abilities?
Well, I'm not sure he said that, but they really have a very limited capacity. They can break through a little section, but they can't go down very deep. They don't have that capacity, and we'll have to see what happens. Maybe it won't be necessary. Maybe it won't be necessary.
Surprise, motherfucker.
All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever this video finds you. Welcome to Text. I am here with Louis Kanye, Red Pill Sleeper Cell. What's going on, my brother? You're muted.
What's going on? I'm doing laundry right now.
All right. It's all right. We see the air conditioning unit up top. So we bombed Iran's we bombed the mountains that supposedly held their nuclear facilities, all right, with the bunker buster. We didn't bomb a civilian area. We bombed mountain terrains where they're supposed to have nuclear capabilities because, I mean, outside of foreign forces, we're the only ones that have the capabilities to do that. Now, we got a couple minutes before Trump goes on. My thing is that my opinion is, if Trump has concrete evidence from Intel that they were creating a nuclear bomb in that area, then you had to do what you had to do. When I was on the other day, I said I would have sold the bunker busters to Israel or the UK at a discount because of the tariff deal and let them handle it. Instead, the U.S. decided to handle it, which puts us as a country in a very vicarious situation, which means that Trump is going to have to get on the phone with Putin in order to keep Russia at bay. You understand? Because you didn't bomb a civilian area, you bombed a military complex. But again, Trump has to show, and I'm talking about his administration, they have to show concrete evidence that, hey, they were in the process of making a nuclear bomb. That's the only thing that can justify this as far as the world is concerned. But the world knows, even Russia knows, in China, that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. They just cannot. Now, listening to a Foreigner, who has a YouTube channel, he was talking about it as this happened about an hour ago. He was saying that Iran moved all of their uranium out of those facilities before it happened because it could have been disastrous. If they moved it, then that doesn't help. That means that the threat is still there. But this is why Israel bombed their factories, bombed their oil fields. All right, what else did they bomb, Lewis? Help me out. What else did Israel bomb?
Military sites where they killed the generals,
Right.
hidden bunkers. They bombed a couple of hospitals, and they were hitting the airfields.
It was something else. Oh, they hit a nuclear facility. That's what Israel hit. So they hit a military site, the oil fields, and the nuclear facility. All right, so here we go. Oh, he with J.D. Vance. Oh, he with the Marco Rubio and
Thank you very much.
All right, here we go.
A short time ago, the U.S. military carried out massive precision strikes on the 3 key nuclear facilities in the Iranian regime: Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan. Everybody heard those names for years as they built this horribly destructive enterprise. Our objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity and a stop to the nuclear threat posed by the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. Tonight, I can report to the world that the strikes were a spectacular military success. Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated. Iran, the bully of the Middle East, must now make peace. If they do not, future attacks will be far greater and a lot easier. For 40 years, Iran has been saying death to America, death to Israel. They have been killing our people, blowing off their arms, blowing off their legs with roadside bombs. That was their specialty. We lost over 1,000 people, and hundreds of thousands throughout the Middle East and around the world have died as a direct result of their hate. In particular, so many were killed by their general, Qasem Soleimani. I decided a long time ago that I would not let this happen. It will not continue. I want to thank and congratulate Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu. We worked as a team like perhaps no team has ever worked before. And we've gone a long way to erasing this horrible threat to Israel. I want to thank the Israeli military for the wonderful job they've done. And most importantly, I want to congratulate the great American patriots who flew those magnificent machines tonight, and all of the United States military on an operation the likes of which the world has not seen in many, many decades. Hopefully, we will no longer need their services in this capacity. I hope that's so. I also want to congratulate the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Dan Raisin Kane, spectacular general, and all of the brilliant military minds involved in this attack. With all of that being said, this cannot continue. There will be either peace or there will be tragedy for Iran far greater than we have witnessed over the last 8 days. Remember, there are many targets left. Tonight's was the most difficult of them all, by far, and perhaps the most lethal. But if peace does not come quickly, we will go after those other targets with precision, speed, and skill. Most of them can be taken out in a matter of minutes. There's no military in the world that could have done what we did tonight, not even close. There has never been a military that could do what took place just a little while ago. Tomorrow, General Kane, Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth will have a press conference at 8 a.m. at the Pentagon. And I want to just thank everybody, and in particular, God. I want to just say, we love you, God, and we love our great military. Protect them. God bless the Middle East. God bless Israel, and God bless America. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Oh, wow. No questions? ABM say anything for the small hat masters. ABM, you have to understand, man. You cannot let Iran have a nuke. And then he called it peace. Yeah, because you can understand, fellas, understand something here. You got to think bigger than what's going on here. If Iran is able to make nuclear weapons, you think they just gonna stop at Israel? No, they're coming for us next, if not at the same time. They have operatives here in the United States. You think that they gonna look at you, oh, ABM in Detroit 313, y'all black, y'all good. I ain't worried about y'all. I'm just worried about the white folks. No. You're an American. They don't care about your color. You're an American. And plus you're black. You have less value than anybody. What's up, Carlton? You have less value than anybody. You see any black Iranians running around? No, Iran ain't building nuclear weapons. Yes, they were. Last year, if you were part of my channel last year, if you remember, I did a video on that when Russia and Ukraine were trading blows, and Iran and Israel were trading blows, and Russia wound up moving their weapons closer to the Ukrainian border. At the same time, they snuck the uranium to Iran. I did that report last year on the other channel. They snuck the uranium to Iran. Remember when Russia moved their battleships into the Red Sea? And then mysteriously after they did that, remember what happened in where's Charles? Baltimore. Remember the ship hit the Baltimore harbor, it ran into the bridge and it collapsed the Baltimore harbor. What was going on in that? The reason why that ship did that, it was hacked. They hacked it to do that. So you could stop it was American military ships in that harbor. They needed to use that harbor to get to the Red Sea. They did that intentionally. That was a terrorist attack. And they told the U.S. stay out of it. Shortly after, that's when they snuck the uranium into Iran. You say there's no reason why Trump has to attack an Iran nuclear sites and then call it peace. Hey, peace through strength. Sometimes you gotta kick a motherfucker ass just so he know to leave you the fuck alone. You say one thing for sure, ain't no black people building no nuclear weapons. Exactly, it's right. The Francis Scott Key Bridge. That's why they bombed. That's why they destroyed it. They destroyed it to keep America from sending supply ships and warships over to the Red Sea. Russia still has battleships in the Red Sea. Them and Iran are like this. This is why Russia told America stay out of it. Meanwhile, these fools were building nuclear bombs. That's why all of this happened. You know what? It is what it is. But you cannot I don't care what you think. You can't let Iran have a nuclear bomb. These fools think death is beautiful. They have although if they think death is so beautiful, then why are you still living? But they welcome death. They're crazy. Those people are crazy. They will push the button and then watch the retaliatory nuclear missiles come and go, 72 virgins. You know, they're psychotic. They are psychotic people. You can't let them have it. There are certain countries that just cannot have the nukes because their leadership is psychotic. They don't care. They do not care. It's like you have a bully and your older brother goes and beat up the bully and say, leave my brother or leave my little brother alone. Eventually, he gonna get the message. You say Iran is going to retaliate, China and Putin will respond to this. I know. This is the tenuous part right here. This is why this is such big news. This is why this is such big news, because it's like, all right, because do understand they cleared out some key military U.S. bases along the Iranian border. They got those people the hell up out of there before this went down. And it was funny because one soldier on TikTok, he was showing a video of the food. They was getting crab legs and steak and lobster. I mean, they had a buffet that looked like Kim Kardashian was getting married again. He was piling it on. He was like, we about to do some military stuff when they feed you good like this. And he was overseas. You say Israel has nukes quietly. No one has called that out. Yeah, true. We know they have nukes. But at least they're not crazy enough to push the button. They haven't used them. Woo. You say, will the United States force Russia, China, France, the United Kingdom, Pakistan, India, Israel, North Korea to get rid of their nuclear weapons? Who knows? We'll see. Dominic. I mean, it's good to see you back. Here's how I see it. Trump has to talk to Putin. He has to talk to Putin. Whatever intel that he has concerning the situation, concerning this bombing, he has to share it with Putin. Because do understand, China is the bank. They have military capabilities, but they're more so of a bank. Where Russia is the muscle. So he has to talk to Putin and say, hey, look, here's the intel I got on this. I'm sharing it with you right now. All right. This is why we did it. We didn't hit a civilian area. All right. We hit a military target far off into their mountains. We hit them with bunker busters because this is the intel we got. And we know that y'all sent them the uranium, but we're not going to argue about that. We're not going to argue about that because that was very careless of what you did. Very careless. I don't know why you did that. That was so careless. Stupid, to be honest. But that was very careless, reckless, crazy of you. I don't know why you did that. But in all honesty, Iran does need a regime change. Because let's understand what that is over there. That's a holy war over there. That's Islam versus fake Judaism. You know what I'm saying? Fake Judaism. That's what this is. And I get it. What they did to the Palestinians was terrible. They gradually took those people's land from them. When in all honesty, after World War II, we should have gave the Jews, those Jews, we should have gave them Germany. We should have gave them Germany just as, a thumb in Hitler's eye, to destroy his legacy. We should have gave them Germany instead. But because Germany was destroyed, they gave them Palestine and forced them people off of their land like over 40, 50, 60, 70 years. You say this is payback for the Iranian Revolution in the late 70s. Trump looks like a total beta for this. The tribe owns Trump. And, it is what it is. It's already happened. But here we are now. We have to, in all honesty, we have to hope that Russia does not counterattack. But also at the same time, it's funny how all of this goes back to ICE. Because everybody keeps talking at the news, the media, the Democrats are hyping on the South American illegals because they're taking cartel money. All right. You've got Tim Walz taking money from the CCP. You've got other Democrats that are taking money from Hamas. All right. So now you've got this Iranian situation. You've got Iranian operatives that are here on American soil. And the biggest thing that we as Americans, as far as directly what we have to worry about, is Iranian terror cells suddenly being activated here in the United States. I was told that land is ours. Say, well, there goes gas prices. He said there goes gas prices. Wait.
You serious?
Yeah, you dead serious. There goes gas prices. Yeah, but Trump has been keeping them low though, because they did. Israel did bomb their oil fields a couple of days ago, and Trump has kept gas prices low because we're not as dependent on them as we were under the previous administrations. All right, because that was the whole point of us buying oil from from Iran, was that they couldn't have a nuclear weapon. This was during the Obama administration. Remember that? When the Obama administration, they went in there to make sure that they weren't developing a nuclear bomb. Y'all remember that? Yeah, so and we started buying oil from them because this was during the time that China was kicking America out of Africa. That was during that whole transformation where we were losing ground in Africa because of China. Like now, it's like we almost have no foothold in Africa. This is why the Gulf of America, they renamed it Gulf of America so they could start drilling off the coast for oil reserves. All right, this is why all of that happened. I mean, you got to put the puzzle pieces together. They were laid before us years in advance. So we've been drilling off the Gulf of America for months. This is why gas prices are down, oil prices are down. So as long as we continue to do that, we're not necessarily worried about oil coming out of Iran. Yeah, Biden let the sleeper cells over. This is also the whole situation with Venezuela. The reason why Maduro snitched about the Biden administration asking for their criminals and everything was because of the oil deal. When Trump killed the oil deal with Venezuela, that's when Maduro snitched. Like, damn, like y'all just fucked up my money. Right, because we're not dependent on you anymore. We don't need your oil. We don't need your oil in South America. We don't need your oil from Iran. We're good. You say Trump just handed midterms to the Democrats. You know what? I was talking to what's her name? Audrey Luma, Senator Luma is what I call her. Representative Luma is what I call her. I was telling her, I said, hey, look, in all honesty, what her, Tom Homan, Kristi Noem, Kash Patel, and Trump needs to do, and I'll show you. Matter of fact, I'll show you. I'm not going to tell you. I'll show y'all. Where's she at? There she go. Okay. Right here. I said, I don't know if you read your comments. Yeah, here's an idea. Tom Homan, Trump, Patel, Noem, and yourself should openly go on a recruitment drive for ICE and the FBI by asking local law enforcement officers who are tired of being stymied by their mayors to submit their resumes in order to help MAGA. Right? Also retired ones as well, both police and military. That was 2 hours ago. You need to do that because you need to hunt down these terrorist cells. All right. And in the midst of that, also the FBI, Kash Patel needs more officers because you need to start arresting these Democratic leaders who are taking foreign money. That will help tremendously when you start locking up some of these Democratic leaders, proving how corrupt they are. But I was watching Nancy Mace yesterday. It was either earlier today or yesterday. She was on Valuetainment, and they were asking her how come they were talking about the mayoral race, and there's this Muslim dude who's high in the polls in the mayoral race, and they asked her why is that, and she said, well, the Democrats, they operate from the bottom up, so they're able to shake hands with people and talk to people and everything and convince these morons to vote for them. That's just how they get seats. Whereas the Republicans work from the top down. But she said if Republicans start working from the bottom up, like the Democrats do, then they can win these seats. And I'm like, damn, I was like, why is this not a GOP strategy? How come the Green Party is not doing this? How come other parties are not doing this? I mean, it's a good strategy. But this is why a lot of people say the GOP is weak and bitch made and sit on their ass and everything. And I have to be honest, even I'm frustrated with the lack of progress when it comes to the FBI and the Department of Justice. I mean, you see these people committing these atrocities, and you've got Pam Bondi acting all tough and talking tough, but where's the fucking arrests? Where the fuck are the arrests? Stop talking tough and actually do something. Get off your fucking ass and do your fucking job. Tired of you, tired of y'all doing press conferences talking tough, but yet, you know, you got people making threats. You got congressmen showing pictures of Trump beheaded, and all she does is apologize, and you do absolutely nothing. That's weakness. That's weakness. That's being a bitch. Oh, you got people. You have people attacking ICE agents in open public, and you do nothing. You don't you don't mace, you don't tase. You be grappling and wrestling with these people, and you shoot them with the rubber bullets, guns, and throw freaking the tear gas. Fuck that. Break these people's fucking spines and let them know this type of shit will not be tolerated. You notice they did, when all the protests was going on the 14th, you notice they did, Florida didn't act a fool. Why is that? Because Ron DeSantis said, we'll run your ass over. That sheriff out there in Florida said, we will kill you graveyard dead. You call yourself fucking around with us. This ain't a bitch-made state. We'll fuck you up. You need to follow their lead. Yeah, you say because it's administration, there's nothing but tough talk, no arrest, and bow down to the promised land. What a shame. Right, I agree with you. It pisses me off. I'm like, man, y'all act like punks. What the fuck? That was an uprising in LA. Y'all should have been blowing motherfuckers' brains out for the things that they was doing out there. Throwing Molotov cocktails and shit. That dude should be in a hospital. If not having his parents make funeral arrangements. Are you kidding me? You start firing live rounds, I guarantee you the protests will calm the fuck down overnight. You start capping a few of these motherfuckers, I guarantee you the protests will stop immediately. You playing games with these folks. You act like this is a game. This is not a game. All you doing is just helping them keep. Oh, look, they ain't gonna do nothing. You seeing people get popped with these rubber bullets that took the points off the rubber bullets to now they're flat shelled. You know, like this bottle, they're flat shelled. So now you're getting hit with them, and it's like getting hit with a bean bag. And these people, they take them shots and then turn around and throw a fucking frozen water bottle at you right back. You're doing nothing. You're not deterring nothing. In no other country would you be allowed to do this, and they treat you with kid gloves. And I said this before, like Trump needs to get more tough. They need to actually get tough with these not protesters, but violent insurrectionists. You need to get tough with these people. You need to start spilling blood like any country on this planet outside of the United States would do, to send them a message that this will not be tolerated. To hell with what the media says. You doing all of these goofy investigations, but you only slapping the cuffs on a handful of people. The mayor out there in Tennessee should be in jail right now. He doxed ICE agents. He should be in that little faggot looking motherfucker should be in jail right now. Karen Bass should be in jail. As Gavin Newsom, they're sitting up here supporting the uprisings. They know all about the little apps that's organized to have violent insurrectionists come and harass ICE agents. They know all about these apps. She openly talked about it. And you sit there and you do nothing. That's not freedom of speech. These people are terrorist supporters. What the fuck are you doing? I know I'm going on a Bitter Truth Show rant right now. And I'm just drinking kombucha. It's like, oh my God. I couldn't be president. They hate me. The Democratic Party would hate me. Them jail cells would be filled. I'd be taking all that money that they stopped the Democrats from stealing and building new prisons. I'll be building new prisons out in Kansas and Iowa and Idaho and Nebraska. Welcome to your new home, Senator. Lewis, what you got to say about this?
I'm still in the laundromat and I got people around me, so I can't really comment right now.
You scared they're gonna beat you up?
Yeah.
But okay. Take a breath. Set that aside. And in all honesty, those of y'all that's been with me for at least over a year, when I had the Embrace Villainy channel, y'all remember I was talking about stocking up your food, stocking up your water, stocking up your toilet tissue, stocking up your gas, getting a generator, all of that stuff. And some of y'all laughed at me. Y'all laughed, oh, he just talking crazy, whatnot. Yeah, I'd rather be safe than sorry. You see, I'm out here home cooking inside my truck. You got a little grill in your truck, making yourself a little fried bologna sandwich. Let me stop. No, but in all seriousness, though, there's no telling how this is going to go. And I mean, it's been written, predicted, philosophized, all of that crap, Nostradamus, BS, all of that there was going to be a nuclear war between the U.S. and countries in the Middle East and Russia between 2025 and 2027. I mean, everybody's talked about this. Even the Bible talked about it. And here we are. You say, yup, and actually I'm chicken breast, though. You making chicken breast. Yeah, I mean, this has been proselytized. Prophecy. You know, I mean, remember, I grew up in the church. This stuff has been prophesized. This is prophecy coming, finally looking like it's coming to bear root. Lewis said, he called me a couple months ago, 3 o'clock in the morning. You know, Trump gonna be the last president. You remember saying that, Lewis?
Oh yeah, I said a couple times.
Yeah. And I told him, I said, the only reason why that would happen is if we had a nuclear war or America fell.
Nations who writes in part, thank you, Donald Trump, and the actions today. President Trump proves that never again is not just.
I mean, we were sitting up here, well, the low IQ black manosphere was talking about getting passports to go overseas to buy $40 pussy. Meanwhile, others were talking about getting passports to expatriate up out of this country because it was going to shit. Socially, it was going into the garbage. It was going to trash. But then Trump came in and he started making changes. So therefore, it looked like America had a bright future. But with this situation right here, it's like, well, let me dust my passport off. You say this makes Republicans look really weak. You may see some revolt come midterms. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, if they lose the House, they still have the Senate. They still have the Senate. But we'll see. I mean, it's every 2 years, so we'll see. Putting on hot sauce on my chicken breast, baby. You know how to look good to me. Oh, okay, I get you. Yeah, eat your food, man. But the fallout from this, I mean, if you were to really look at it, you look at Iran's allies, which are, of course, as far as that can be of any threat to us, are China and Russia. You've got a lot of Chinese nationals that Trump has been deporting, which the news doesn't report on that. You've got a lot of Russian, fake Russian nationals. They've been deporting them. The news doesn't report on that. You've got Middle Easterners that have been deported. The news doesn't report on that. China owns a lot of farmland along our missile silos. The news doesn't report on that. It was weird that Dr. Phil had to inform Trump about that situation, which made Trump look very dismayed. Let me see. Hold on. There you go.
Welcome to Joe in Babylon. I'll be with you as we are stranded in Babylon. I'm just like Doug in Exile, but without the caffeine.
Chinese government has funded buying major farmland.
Yeah. I just wanted to interject here at this point my own anecdotal connection to this. I was getting 2 to 3 calls a week asking if I was interested in selling my property, and I started to notice that every caller had a Chinese accent. So I started asking them about their accent. I would say, just out of curiosity, what is your accent? Where are you from? Almost every time they would hang up on me. Except one time, the caller said his accent was because he was from Texas. I laughed and said, that's not a Texas accent. And then he got mad at me and hung up. So I know this is just anecdotal, but I suspect the Chinese government is not just buying farmland, but residential land as well. Then superimposed over that map is some of our most strategic military bases.
Surrounding
including equipment, biological, chemical, defense systems, our largest supersonic restricted airspace drone, missile-sized nuclear command, etc. So it's a little bit disturbing to me that China is not only buying the farmland around these military bases, but seemingly is also buying residential land.
Well, there it is.
Hey, thanks for watching.
Yeah, that was something that that Dr. Phil was showing Donald Trump. Yeah, like look at this. Trump looked like, what the hell? Because the Biden administration let this slide, let it go through. We already knew that China pretty much owned San Francisco. This was before COVID. This is why they were like, remember a lot of white people who were in tech and everything, they were getting priced out of the market in China. I mean, in San Francisco. And then you saw the mayor of San Francisco, he looked like a Chinese general. Like you had a 1-bedroom apartment in San Francisco was going for like $6,500 a month. That's ridiculous. They priced those people out, and San Francisco was then taken over by Chinese people. It became pretty much a new Chinatown. Look at what happened in Oakland with Jane Tao. You know, she was Chinese immigrant mayor, and the FBI, they wound up arresting her. She's facing charges, bribery charges, for taking bribes from a Chinese waste management company. And do understand, these people, when you leave China, that doesn't mean that you're no longer part of the CCP. They're very loyal to their country. And they own all of these little spots. So let's say Russia or China, but more than likely Russia. Let's say Russia doesn't deal with the U.S. the way the U.S. would like for them to deal with it, to like kind of tip their hat. Like, okay, well, you let us do what we want to do with Ukraine, so we'll let you do whatever happened with Iran. Let's say that they say, no, the hell with that. Putin be like, no, the hell with that. And then they decide they want to fire missiles. And then we want to fire missiles back. There's no telling how many of these missile silos, especially defense missile silos or whatnot, can be easily hacked by CCP operatives and leave the country defenseless. In all honesty, all of these little land ownerships, especially around military bases, needs to be eminent domain. Like immediately, with these people kicked off that land immediately. This is the whole point of deportations. You have to get out terrorist cells immediately. That's why they are majority going after criminals, military-aged males, getting them out of here immediately. It's such a bigger picture going on than what's being painted. This is why I don't post the news articles. We do the press conferences, because at least they give you a smidgen of what's really going on, instead of a distorted story coming from CNN or MSNBC or even Fox News. You tell me what's really going on. Let me be able to decipher what you're really talking about for myself. We are in it. We are in it to win it, hopefully. But we'll see. We'll see. Lewis, you got anything to say about any of this?
The only thing I got to say, goddamn you, Trump, for doing this while I was doing laundry. This threw me totally for a loop.
Are you going on tonight?
I might. I gotta get stuff because I gotta work. I gotta go to work tomorrow.
All right. Let me know. We'll link up. We'll get it done.
All right.
All right. So, Evie says, Carlton said, what happened to those muscular military-age Chinese nationals crossing the border? I didn't see them at the protests in LA. Because just like you shouldn't see your black ass at those protests in LA because it's not your fight. It's not your fight. It's not their fight. They give a shit about the South American getting deported. It's not their fight. Just like you should give a shit about the South American getting deported. It's not your fight. Well, if Lewis goes on tonight, I'll link up with him and we'll get it done. Let's get out of here, fellas. Catch y'all later. Peace.
Demon King Satan.
Yeah, what?
Demon King Satan. Satan.
Nope, not
Satan.
no.
Satan. 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 Satan.
I actually felt retarded, like really retarded. I mean, I brushed my teeth retarded. I rode the bus retarded. In a weird way, I had to sort of just free myself up to believe that it was okay to be stupid or dumb.
To be moron.
Yeah, to be rock.
Nigga, did you know that I can see you?
Stop breaking the law, asshole!
You don't have the cards. You're buried there. Your people are dying. You're running low on soldiers. Listen, you're running low on soldiers. It would be a damn good thing. And then you tell us, I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. I want to go and I want this. Look, if you could get a ceasefire right now, I tell you.
1, 2, 3. All right. Hi. Thanks for the fun.
Get the fuck